When I was a wee bairn in primary school, our class went to a safety course thing that was run by a company that would take over a site and put on a bunch of small exhibits all about being safe. Don't play in building sites, watch out for power lines, don't vote for Tories, that sort of thing. And right at the beginning, before we broke off into smaller groups, we were told the staff all had these identical name badges. So after a video about not throwing stones in a construction site, our little group was taken outside and told that the next session was running a bit late, so to wait there. Now this was like a big warehouse that sat on an old farm. So basically you had the buildings and then you had the forest. We were standing there, like 10 years old, talking about how cool the explosions were in the safety video about gas canisters and how big an explosion we could probably get out of the propane cans next to the dinner hall at school. When this woman comes up to us and she's like, Rusty, have anyone seen my dog Rusty? I can't find him. I think he might be hurt. So we were like, 10-year-olds, we were like, we haven't, but we could help you search. So this woman leads us into the woods. We're just pottering along beside her looking for this dog Rusty. And I want to say I was pretty susp, but I know how gullible I am. So I was probably eagle-eyed looking for the dog. Didn't notice the van approaching. So this woman turns when we're a little way into the forest and she's like, now I'm gonna kill you all. And we were like, okay, sure, after we find the dog. So it was a bit, and the whole thing was about don't wander off with strangers, and this woman didn't have a badge on. It was an interesting experience. I personally learned a lot. I learned that I will quite willingly wander off with Ted Bundy if I think an animal's in danger. This ties into a proud tradition we have here in the UK. See, you Americans with your PSAs, yours are public. They go on TV, a knowing, bizarre way to implore the public, the people, to be safe. Think about your action. You can all partake in the consumption of these creepy safety messages. Here in England, we only show them to kids at school. We take great pride in teaching kids to be safe by removing them from their parents and their teachers, locking them up with strangers, and letting them scare the out of her. I am just now starting to realise why I'm as anxious as I am. But I'm not here to talk about that scared me in my childhood. No. Remember when I talked about The Shining? I mentioned the top 100 scary moment TV shows. Well, another frequent appearance was from a short film we are talking about today, made by the UK government and scientifically designed in a lab to give evil the most cynical person nightmares. This is not a video essay. This isn't even a review. This is a necessary excisement of something in me, a series of emotional revelations I need to expunge for my own health. Today, we're talking about the Apaches. Okay, so spoiler warning folks, the movie is 30 minutes long, we're going to talk about, there's not much to say. The Apaches follows a bunch of kids as they play around on a farm, and one by one they get graphically killed off on screen right in front of your eyes. To start with, this film is kind of very racist. Made in the 1970s in England, the film has the kids pretending to be Native Americans. It is about as racist as you would probably imagine. So every time I mention anything in this film, just assume that I follow it up with, but it sure is a shame about the gross depiction of Native Americans or references to harmful stereotypes in this scene. It's a pretty big bummer. I won't show any other footage anyway, but still. The framing device of the film follows our narrator Danny describing boring adult parties.
Dad likes to see his face in his shoes. He says he could shave in the reflection from them. This is Mum's favourite blouse, her best one. After all, when you're having a party, you want to look your best, don't you?
But the meat of the film follows the kids playing on a farm owned by one of the kids' families. The kids are pretending to be Native American warriors, although this becomes cowboys and Starsky and Hutch at one point, as the numbers start to dwindle. The kids are playing near the entrance to the farm when one of the farmers drives in with a tractor.
Look out, the wagon train's coming! Attack it as it enters the fort, okay? Okay.
The kids charge the tractor, playing whatever they're playing. One of them climbs on top, at which point she is clearly spotted by the driver, who does sweet FA, and then the tractor turns and the kid on the trailer yeah, no one has a particularly visceral reaction to a child getting crushed by a tractor. And then smash cut to the school where someone takes the kid's name tag off their peg. Jesus fucking Christ. That's a consistent through line for this film. Adults just not giving a shit about the deaths of all these children. This face right here, that's not the face of a man who just crushed a child to death under the wheel of a tractor. The kids continue playing around on a farm, unsupervised. One drowns in a slurry pit. One drinks paraquat and has her insides turned to ragu.
It might be poison. Yeah, to kill the rat. No, it isn't poison. It would look like it. Mommy!
One is crushed by a loose gate.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Freeze! Mama, look out! Ah!
And our hero Danny is given free rein to about in a tractor, which he promptly Cliff Richards off a hill and dies. We then find the framing device, the party that the adults are getting ready for, is Danny's wake. Jeez, was that her legs? The cold, confused staring of the kids as their friends get 86'd. The emotionless and disinterested lack of oversight by the parents as the kids drop off one by one, and the haunting narration of Danny as we realise that he's gone. This film was made very close to where I grew up. The thing that is so weird about this 16mm blown out Oddworld Abe's Odyssey nightmare is that the acting from the kids is really good. I'm not kidding, there are scenes where the kids are just hanging out and it's super engaging, which makes the complete lack of energy around their reactions to the deaths that much more jarring, because these reactions are on purpose. You can find this video on YouTube, I'll leave a link down below, it's well worth a watch. I really don't have much to say about this film, it just exists, and after seeing it on the TV countdown thing, I looked it up ages ago, and it stuck with me, which I guess is, you know, the point. I've certainly not played around a slurry pit since. That's it. I don't really have much else to say here. I will probably revisit the topic of terrifying PSAs at some point in the future. In fact, I'll tell you what, if I reach 100 subscribers, I will tell you all about the English PSA film that terrified me when I saw it as a child. That's a deal. 100 subs, and I tell you why I, for the longest time as a child, was literally scared of kidney beans. I'm not kidding. That's the deal. I'm also not entirely unconvinced that this kid isn't Satan, because look at that look right there. That look there. Look at that. That's a kid who says, yes, my bidding is being done.